And joining us for more is former Deputy Commander, U.S. Central Command, Vice Admiral Robert Harward. Admiral, let's get right to what Trent was just saying. I found some very powerful things that he just stated, that the Iranian president is telling its people to conserve energy. That's a good sign that this blockade is working, right?
Without a doubt. In fact, the statement that they're in a tough spot would be a gross understatement. They're broken. And I think this is playing out in the negotiations. Who can go and really represent the interests of Iran and not the IRGC? So that the internal dynamics of Iran is really what's on the microscope right now. They're under pressure. Their money's starving off. They're not going to have energy. They can't keep the lights up. But more important than that, you have a vast military arsenal, both U.S. and Israeli, ready to go. So if they don't capitulate, they're going to start exercising additional options to bring this to a conclusion and ensure Iran never has a nuclear weapon. So that is inevitably the end state. How painful can the IRGC let it go on for the people of Iran and not pay for that?
You know, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth was addressing where things stand with Iran. Watch this, Admiral.
Iran has a historic chance to make a serious deal, and the ball is in their court. Either way, the War Department stands ready for what comes next, locked and loaded.
So, Admiral, what does that mean? What does locked and loaded could it potentially mean?
Spot on, very accurate by the Secretary of War. Look, the Iranians have only negotiated for gain and time and not for peace. And this administration knows that. So they're not going to give them the time. They're not going to give them the financial gains they got from other administrations. They're going to hold them to the end state they're looking for, the objectives. Come to the table, give us options for ending your nuclear program and ensuring the free flow of commerce, and then we may be able to talk. But if you're not bringing that to the table, there's no reason to talk, and we can add additional power and options on the table. So not only will you run out of fuel, not only will you run out of energy and money, you're going to run out of objects, critical infrastructure, the IRGC headquarters, other buildings and stuff will be at stake. So the U.S. has been ramping up not only all their forces, but all their options during this entire campaign. And now they really can bring everything to the table internally and externally for and against Iran.
At this moment, too, we know, Admiral, that there are 3 carrier groups, U.S. carrier groups. The USS George W. Bush just got there recently. That's about 200 aircraft, 15,000 sailors and Marines. What kind of firepower could that bring? And we're looking at a map right now, too. Is Carg Island on the table potentially?
Of course, everything's on the table. But again, the president has been very astute. He wants to make sure the Iranian people at the end of all this see the end state. And so taking out their infrastructure up to this point is not a preferred option. But if starving them out isn't enough, that is set the conditions for long-term suffering. And maybe that brings the Iranian people to the point where they have to go to the straits, even though they face risk of death. There's no other options because there's no other alternatives to that. So we're hopeful that this won't get to that stage, but it's sure on the table. And the government of Iran has the cards to ensure that does not happen. But at the end of the day, if it does, they're held accountable to that, not only to the world, but more importantly, the Iranian people who will live with those ramifications for decades to come.
And Admiral, what about ground troops? Is that an option, even in some limited form? The other question I have for you is what's the role of Israel? Because you've got 2 great militaries here. Of course, number one, America, but you've got the Israeli military.
Ground troops are always an option, and not for occupation, maybe for raids, as has been done in Iran by both the U.S. to recover our pilots and the Israelis as well. So raids are on the table to do destruction, to call out the IRGC and engage them. So those remain options. I think because of the risk, and you saw how seriously we took the loss of one pilot, that would be an option we would not want to exercise. But again, to meet the end state the president is looking for, that may be called on the table. So again, it's up to the regime at this point. Do they want to ratchet this thing up and make it more painful than it already is? That's going to be their choice. And that will be very clear by the end of this weekend.
Oh, wow. You think as soon as this weekend, you think it's going to be that clear?
I believe so. Let's see if they show up for the negotiations. If someone shows up and can actually make agreements as opposed to, well, we got to take something home. And you saw how that played out when the vice president attended. He gave them about 21 hours and they called it quit. I think you're going to see that same thing here. Show up this time. You can make agreements. You can talk. We can find some middle ground. And if not, I believe the president will take the next steps necessary to meet his objectives.
Well, it could be a very busy time, obviously, and a lot is on the table. The stakes couldn't be higher. Vice Admiral Robert Harward, thank you very much. Really important discussion. Great to have you here.
Good to be with you.
Thank you.